Welcome. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we are going to focus on client attraction marketing, steps to clearly communicate your value. But before we even dig in, what I want to acknowledge is you, that you took time away from busily working in your practice to be able to join us today, show up, get those insights, trainings, maybe that one particular thing that's going to make a difference and really change the trajectory of your practice. That is working on your business. And I believe anytime you're able to carve out the moments to be able to get that advanced insight, get official education is an advanced move. Bottom line, working on your business is what moves you forward. It's not just about working in your business. Pain to potential. That is really what I'm probably going to keep on going throughout this whole webinar is pain to potential. And it's not yours. It is about your clients. I want you to be able to know your clients so well that you know the things that are their worries, their frustration, what they've been tolerating, as well as the aspirations, the things that they're working for, those milestones, that next level of success. The more that you can dial in to the whole range from pain to potential, the more value that they're going to see in working with you. And it's going to allow you to stand out from every other firm that they might be considering hiring for services. If you're an accounting professional where you feel that you blend in, just like all those ducks in a row, they can't decide why they ought to work with you versus anybody else. There's nothing that differentiates or defines you. Even though you have these superpowers in the background, they just don't see it when they're first becoming aware of you. If you blend in, then you feel that you might be needing to remain price competitive also. You are absolutely in the right place because I want to show you today how to be able to stand out, how to be able to share what it is that you do differently and deeply connect with your potential clients in order for them to be attracted to you and want to know more. Steve, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Loren, I would love to. So hi, my name's Steve Fogelman. And yes, as you can see, there is a connection between Loren and I. We have been married for quite a while and working together for quite a while. I am a therapist turned business coach. I have my own business and I sold it and then went into my wife's business, which is Loren. And I am going to be working the chat and I will also be handling the polls. And if you have any questions for Loren, please go ahead and put them in the chat and I will be sure to get those over to Loren. Loren, take it away.
Thank you. A little bit about me, and some of you might already know my story, but I am a sports psychologist turned business coach. What I have found is that there's many similarities between high achieving athletes and growth-minded accounting professionals, but there's three main differences. One is we wear slightly different uniforms than athletes do. Number two is we're aiming for different numbers than athletes are aiming for. And three, athletes from the very beginning at Pee-wees have someone on the outside that's mentoring them, that's training them, that's coaching them to be able to really fast track and get the best results possible to achieve their full potential. Whereas business owners, we love serving our clients, but asking for help is a little bit more challenging sometimes. As a result, we might be fiercely independent. We try to be able to figure things out on our own. Therefore, yes, we might be able to achieve our dream practice. However, it's going to take longer than sometimes having that outside mentoring or coaching. So this is where I believe that as business owners, we can learn something from these athletes to be able to have someone on the outside that's able to help us fast track our results in order to have a business that you run instead of a business that runs you. And as you can see, from 2018 to 2021, I have been listed among the top 22 business coaches by HubSpot. And that is my Amazon #1 bestseller, The Success Solution. Okay, if you are on the country drive, it's Sunday, a beautiful summer day, you're out in the country driving, you're going past all these farms where you're seeing brown cows, you're seeing black cows, and they kind of all blend in. And then all of a sudden, you see this purple cow. You might drive past a little bit, but it catches your attention. You look in your rearview mirror. You stop. You back up. You get out of your car with your phone, take a selfie with the car, and then post it on Facebook, watching it go viral. That is what happens when you stand out instead of blending in. We are inundated with marketing messages all day, every day, more than we realize. And so many of the messages blend in. One is just like the other. But then every now and then you get one that stands out. It grabs your attention in a way that no other does. And you're listening to it. You're really tuning into it. It's speaking exactly to you. And that is what we want to have happen to you, that you stand out in order for your ideal clients to know that you are speaking directly to them and they want to know more. I want you to be that purple cow. What we're going to cover today is fixing your message, attracting ideal clients, and then we're going to wrap up with the 5 steps that's going to grab attention. I will absolutely give you as much as I possibly can in our short time together today. If you're interested in talking further, knowing more, I will let you know at the end how you can go ahead and do that as well.
So Loren, what are the steps to increase income without working additional hours?
Well, this is right from my Raise Your Rates formula. It's something I go through with each and every one of my clients. What I'm going to do is briefly go through each one so that you can be able to get some insights, maybe think about how this applies to you. If you just follow these, you will absolutely be increasing your income and possibly even lightening your workload. Number 1 is ideal client, because trying to be all things to all people is going to be very inefficient. It's not effective. That's where you end up blending in instead of standing out. And to recognize that there's some clients that you have that make you smile when you know that you're going to be talking with them that day. There's other clients you have that make you smile when you finish talking with them. So realize that all clients make you smile, some when they come in the door and others when they go out the door. I want you to have a book full of clients that make you smile when they come in the door. You deserve that. The next thing, which we're going to go deeply into today, is communicating your value. How do you go ahead and say things in such a way where it's that connection with a potential client? They absolutely see the value of what you offer. And it's not just about the tasks, the functions, or the reports. Step number 3 is being able to package your services. This is where you're bundling certain services together that are outcome driven. And when you do that, you're able to start separating your fees from time. Number 4, which is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, something I talk about with every single client, I talk about as often as I can, is how to be able to price your services for value instead of trading dollars for hours, because I believe that charging for your time is a disservice to you as well as to your clients. It creates an internal, actually it creates an external tug of war between you and your clients. And then number 5 is consultation mastery. How to be able to have an initial consultation with a potential new clients where they see the value of what you have to offer. It's different than most consultations that they're having with other accounting professionals. And by the end of the consultation, they are asking you, how does this work? How do we move forward? And that is a beautiful thing, especially if you hate the sales part. Anyway, these are the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula: ideal client, communicate your value, package your services, value pricing, and consultation mastery.
So Loren, before we get started, and the next thing that we're going to be covering is how to fix your message. We have a couple of poll questions that are going to be coming on. And this one is, do you have an ideal client? I work with everyone. I serve several industries. I've defined my niche. And if you would go ahead and put your answers into the poll, that would be great. And at some point, we will close the poll. This is also a good time, if you have any questions for Loren, this would be a great place to put it in the chat. And I will be sure to get those questions over to Loren.
We're going to keep it open for maybe like 5 more seconds.
Okay.
We have almost everybody's voted. Okay, we're going to
close
go
to
ahead
that.
and close the poll.
Okay. So I work with everyone is 13%. I serve several industries is 53%, or I've defined my niche is 33%. And Loren, let's talk about the number one messaging mistake that people make.
Well, the main mistake is that you tell me that you want high value clients, but your marketing or whatever messaging you're putting out there is actually attracting price sensitive clients who do not respect or appreciate you. Maybe they treat you like an employee, even though you're not. This is like having a teenager in your house and you're trying to talk with your teenager, but she has on her noise canceling headset. As a result of that, she cannot hear a word you're saying. Somehow there is a disconnect. And that is what's happening with so much of the marketing out there, is that there is a disconnect between who it is you really want to be attracting and who is actually tuning into your message. Before today, I went ahead and I went on random accounting websites. And these are some of the things I took text right off of some of your websites. And just wanted to be able to share some of these and why these are not really the best things to have there. And if you have any of these things, then you have some insights. The very first thing is we provide affordable solutions. That is really like price, that is so attractive to price sensitive clients, is knowing that you have affordable solutions. So that is something to think about. If you don't want price sensitive clients, then you don't want to necessarily have the word affordable there. The next thing is we help you run your book smarter. That is focusing on the tasks and the technical parts of what you do as opposed to your expertise. It is highlighting the functions and the technical parts, but it's totally dismissing the expertise that you're bringing to the table. Every client of ours gets free year-round tax advice. What that tells me is you are giving away your highest value. Think about that. What it is that you know, your insights, the fact that you even understand the tax code or can be able to give some recommendations to avoid penalties, to be able to file on time, to be able to pay a lower tax bill than what they would normally pay. Tax resolution, any one of those things is so high value. It's your knowledge. It's where you've dedicated time, money, effort to be able to understand these things, and then you give it away for free. I want to let you know, if you're giving away free year-round tax advice, then you are actually undervaluing your own services and what you bring to the table. You cannot expect anybody else to value you until you value yourself first. Next is, no matter what your accounting needs are, we're here to help. Well, that lets me know that you're a generalist instead of a specialist. Think about physicians. We all know that GPs don't charge quite as much as if you're a specialist. And that is true for accounting professionals as well. If you have a niche or a specialty, I want you to lead with that, because that actually is higher value. Okay, AP, AR, HR, and payroll. First of all, that is industry talk. You might have clients, even though they're business owners, they might not really know what AP, AR, HR is. They'll know the payroll part, but they don't know the acronyms necessarily. Therefore, I want you to really speak to things in a way that they speak and what's relevant to them as opposed to how you speak. So think about it. If you're looking at that, maybe you're going to say something about reducing employee turnover. That's the HR piece. Maybe you're going to look at the fact that you help them reduce their net terms and they get paid quicker, or that you're able to help with cash flow so they're no longer scrambling right before payroll to make ends meet. And that's something to think about. That really says the same thing, but it says it in their language instead of your language. The other thing is, when you say you work with small businesses, medium businesses, and not-for-profits, that tells me that you're trying to appeal to everybody. And once again, you are a generalist, not a specialist. So those are some of the things to just think about that I've seen, like I said, random selected accounting websites, and it's here. And they're here because these are more common than most of us want to realize.
So Loren, how does the golden rule apply to marketing and communicating value?
Well, what you want to think about is really the three things that I have here. Basically, the golden rule is you give before you can expect to receive. The first thing you want to think about is benefits. That is where you're focusing on you before me. When you're out there, whether it's on your website, at a network meeting, and you have your 30 seconds or 1 minute to share about yourself, whether you are doing some social media marketing and posting, you want to talk about them and really talk about, as I said before, the pain to potential. What are some of the headaches that they're dealing with? What are some of the solutions to that? You want to talk about what are their aspirations that they can't do yet because of the fact that they are unaware of where their financials are. There's not accurate information. So think about the benefits of having you in their back pocket and how this would help them. The second thing then is solutions. Not only is there a benefit to having you do this, but go ahead and start to educate them about having you do this would be faster, better, easier. It's going to be faster because this is what you're going to be doing, so they don't have to at the end of the day or on weekends or take time away from something else that would be growth-minded in their business to be able to do the invoicing or be able to get their POS up to date or anything like that. So think about how it would be faster with you doing it, how it's going to be better, because think about it. Every time you look at a potential new client's books, there are things that aren't categorized right. There are things that aren't categorized as at all. There are things messed up. So having you do it is going to be better because it's going to be accurate. It might then let them take additional tax reductions that they wouldn't be able to take otherwise. Maybe it's going to be saving them on other costs as well. But somehow I know that you are going to be doing this so much better than your clients are. And easier, well, the easier part is they just give you access and they know that it's done correctly. That gives them peace of mind. So that is the solutions focus. And then number 3 is really what I feel is the sweet spot. It's an advanced move where this is the future focus part of it. This is where you are connecting your services to their goals and aspirations. Now, when someone's considering working with you, they're thinking about a couple of things. They have needs, they have wants, and they have desires. The needs are the basics that they need to be operational and get their taxes filed on time. Their wants are things that they know that they ought to have in place, but they don't. That could be job costing. That could be some other insights. That could be reimbursement if they have associates in their practice that are bringing in revenues also. So that's something to think about. But then there are the desires. The desires are the future focused. If you can let them know how you can help them achieve those future focused desires faster, better, and easier, then that is the sweet spot. That has so much value, especially to the clients who are not price sensitive. When Bill and I first connected, he does a lot of networking. He is out there in the community. He's very, very service oriented. When he was sharing about what he did during network meetings, he would be talking about the payroll. He would be talking about the reports, the technical parts of what he did. And he was getting referrals. His accounting practice was growing, but it was growing with a lot of low value clients, which meant that he had to have a lot of clients in order for keeping his business operational and making ends meet. Because he needed the volume, he just was working too many hours. It was taking him away from other things, including spending time with his partner. So what we did is we started to change it around. We started looking at what were the problems that his clients had and being able to create marketing messages that talked about their problems. Then he shared about solutions. He let them know why he was qualified to do this for them. He has an MBA in business. So not only is he qualified to meet their accounting needs, but he also enjoys creating systems and processes that helps to make their businesses more efficient as well as effective. And then once he's able to help his clients put these in place. They're no longer tolerating something that isn't working very well. They're no longer frustrated. They're able to really work on their own business development. And he was able to show them how this allows them to really put their attention back on their business in order to be able to continue growing it. So once he started doing that, he was attracting a different type of client to him that was no longer price sensitive. And in a matter of the first 30 days of us working together, he brought in an additional $10,000 in revenues. And just think, what would that do for your practice if you can really connect with those high value clients and attract them to you as well?
Wow, Loren, that's great. So what's next is going to be attracting ideal clients. But before we do that, we have our next poll, which is about communicating your value. So do you confidently communicate your value? It's something I struggle with. There's room for improvement, or I've mastered my message. And once again, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them into the chat. I did see a question, I think from Antoinette. She wants to know if
and that's been answered already.
Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then a question about any suggestions about how to communicate your value.
Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to shut down the poll.
Okay. So do you
Let's share that.
communicate your value? It's something I struggle with is 27%. There's room for improvement is 73%. I've mastered my message is 0%.
Perfect. And then how to go ahead and confidently communicate your value is something that we're going to go into in the final section. But once again, it's really talking about what it is that your clients keenly care about, what's keeping them up at night, what are their aspirations. And the more that you can connect with what's top of their mind and what they value, then that's going to be really getting their attention, as opposed to talking about the technical parts of what you do, which is similar to what most accounting professionals do as well.
Well, Loren, tell me about this 90% statistic.
Well, as I was preparing for this, I did some research, and Microsoft actually did extensive research showing that most clients, when they're considering working with someone, care about the customer relationship. And those clients who care about the customer relationship are likely to pay more than the ones that are just price sensitive and looking to get a lot of value for very little dollars. So think about it for you. And I'd love to hear in the chat, what is something that your clients love about you that really focuses on the client relationship? What is it that lets them know that you are client-centered and you actually really care about them? It's not just about the transaction. And would love to be able to see what you put in the chat and what it is that resonates with your clients. So once again, just realize that clients highly value the relationship that you have with them. And when you focus on that, then they're actually going to be willing to pay more than when you're just focusing on the technical parts and trying to appeal to the price-sensitive clients. So would love to see what it is that you do that your clients love about you regarding the relationship.
Well, emotions are very important, but how does this apply to accounting services?
Okay, I want you to get emotional. And that doesn't mean that I want you to be crying along with your clients when they have a difficult month or something happened that was a crisis in their business. That is not it at all. But think about it. What are some of the challenges that your clients come to you with when they're first reaching out to you? What are the headaches? What are the tolerations? What are their frustrations? What are the growth problems that they have that they are reaching out to you because they can't deal with this on their own any longer? And would love to be able to hear that from you also. What are those things that they're initially talking to you about? And what I mean by emotional is when you first are messaging them, trying to get their attention, whether it is at a network meeting, social media, your website, what you want to do is let them know that you understand the realities of being a business owner or the realities that they're dealing with, that you understand it's taking their mind off of something else, that it is creating urgency or a crisis or maybe that they can't move forward because of the fact that they don't have accurate financials. And the basic fact is that when someone is reaching out to work with you, it's because there's something that they've been dealing with for a period of time. They can't tolerate it any longer. They can't ignore it any longer. The frustration is too high. They're stressed out about it, and it needs to be resolved for them to be able to have peace of mind and move forward. So I want you to really connect with what are those pains as well as those aspirations. And when you're looking at the two, to realize that when someone's reaching out to you, 75% of the time, they're going to be reaching out to you because of some pain, because unfortunately, the way that most of us work is pain is a bigger motivator than aspirations. So really think about what are those challenges that they're having, and the other 25% will be wanting to do something, but they know that they need some insights regarding their financials in order to move forward. So start talking about the frustrations, the tolerations of their pains, as well as their aspirations, and connect with that emotionally. When you're able to do that, then once again, it gets their attention. You're talking about something different than most other accounting professionals are. And it is like speaking their love language. They want to know more and how you can help solve that pain. Okay, so some of the things in the chat that your clients love about you. Antoinette says, I have solutions even before they ask. Sherry Lee says, I understand their business, the ebbs and the flows. And because they're new to the business, I can anticipate their upcoming issues. That is fantastic. You can help them probably avoid things, or it won't be as big of a problem because of the fact that you understand what's going to be coming down the road for them. Lois says, they tell me that I listen well and they don't feel stupid asking questions. I tend to go the extra mile with pretty high touch. Okay, one of the things that I say about the extra mile, Lois, is that there's very little competition when you go the extra mile. So really want to acknowledge each and every one of you for those little touches that you have that add value to your clients.
Well, Loren, let's talk about the 5 criteria that communicate value as we have up here.
If you're looking at how to, okay, we talked about the pain of potential. How do you start to communicate that? And you're not sure exactly what you want to be focusing on. These are some of the things just to think about that you could be looking at when you're first starting to have that emotional connection before you even met them. Think about it. Even with me, we might not have met yet. This might be the first time that you're joining one of my webinars, but maybe we've met some other way through social media, through some other platform that I speak on. And we never had a chance to actually connect directly, but I've been speaking to you for quite some time. And the things that you want to look at is service. So they need to know that you have the software, the tools, the resources to be able to deliver on the thing that they hired you to deliver. That is the very first thing, is they need to know that you can deliver on what they've hired you to deliver. Because a lot of times people promise something, but what they say and what they do, there's a disconnect. And as a result, it creates a lot of tension. There might also be where they don't fully trust people now because they said one thing and they invested in them, and now they're questioning why they ought to be trusting you also. So really looking at how to be able to put their mind at ease that you have the tools, the insights, you follow through with your promises. The second thing to look at is response. This has to do with communication. And you can be showing someone how you communicate with them even before you have a first conversation. Look at how quickly do they respond? How quickly do you respond to someone when they reach out to you? Is it that they get a call back? Because Steve and I have been doing a lot of calls to a particular type of agency or industry, and they've been asking us to leave messages, and we haven't gotten a call back yet. Out of maybe 6 different companies in that particular industry that we've been reaching out to for information, we've only gotten 1 live person that actually answered the call. And they're not the cheapest one, but because of the fact that we actually got to speak to a live person and they answered our questions, we're thinking about the fact that if we ever needed them, they would be the most reliable to help us with our needs. And that's something to think about for you also, is what is your response time? Do you even get back in some way, acknowledging the fact that there was a query? This could be whether on social media, email, voicemail, whatever that might be. But think about, how do you communicate with people, and how can you teach people that haven't connected with you yet that you care so much that you make sure that you are client-centered. The third thing is the knowledge. Not only do they need to know that you have the resources to deliver the service, they need to also know that you have the education, the insights, the knowledge, the expertise to be able to help them with their needs, and maybe even go that extra mile, as Lois said, going beyond. So think about letting them know how it is that you're able to, that you have the knowledge, the insights, the expertise to be able to solve their biggest challenges or help them with their aspirations. And I'll give you some more insights on how to do that in the next section. Number 4 is quality. It is about the fact that Microsoft has shown, if you focus on the client relationship, that matters to 90% of the people who are reaching out to you. And when you can let them know that you are high touch, that you're client-centered, it's not about the transaction, it is about the relationship, then they are not as price sensitive as when you're coming from the approach of, we just need a lot of clients, as many as possible. We never talk to them. We just give them their reports on a regular basis, and we're very hands-off. So think about that also as the quality of the relationship. And then number 5 is the price. Basically, the way that you want to consider pricing is they need to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they are paying you. That is the essence of value pricing. And when you can separate your fees and time and enroll clients who are no longer price sensitive, they need to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they're paying you.
What are the 4 elements you include, or you need to include, in your marketing message?
Well, this is where I talk about you stepping into your client's shoes. You want to be able to look at their financials and what the things are that they're concerned about, and things from their perspective as opposed to yours. Because what you see as important, or what you might focus on, might be very different than what they see as important and what they want to have focused on. Therefore, this is about really knowing who your ideal client is, who your high value client is. This is about getting very specific. Now, if you're trying to do all things for all people, small business, medium businesses, not-for-profits, it's hard to get very, very specific, because each one of those has some different needs that are unique to them. That goes with industries. There are different needs within the legal industry than there might be in the, if you're working with plumbers or general contractors. And so that's something to think about. Maybe people in a legal industry have different needs than people in the trades. So once again, the more focused you are about who you serve and what you do for them, lets you really dial it in, and that has a high value. So you want to be able to identify what their problems are as well as their aspirations. That's the very first thing. And then the second thing you want to do is be able to instruct them on what are some of those solutions that would actually take away those frustrations and what they've been tolerating, or what's been preventing them from moving forward. So give them some of the solutions. What I feel is that even if you're sharing some of the things that you know, feel comfortable giving away the store. You will never give away the whole mall. And just think about that this is what I'm doing. I'm giving away the store about client attraction messaging that I work on with my private clients. And they're invested heavily in being able to be that one that is attracting the high value clients to them. And I'm happy to share this with you, because I feel that by lifting myself up with what I've learned and then lifting you up, you're going to now be able to lift somebody else up. It is just this wave of positivity. So feel free to give away some information, but you choose how to do it. If you don't want to do picky brain sessions, which I don't think you ought to do, then there's other ways to be able to share solutions. So think about that. The next thing is 3, inform. Let them know why you're qualified to do that. Simply, and it doesn't need to be a long drawn out story, but at the beginning of this presentation, I told you in probably just 1 minute or so what makes me qualified going from sports psychology to business coaching, with my focus being on accounting professionals and helping you to be able to separate your fees from time so you can double your revenues working half the time. So that is, in one sentence, educating you about why I'm qualified to be talking about this and who I help. And then the last thing is Illuminate. This is where, once again, you are focused on that sweet spot, the future focus part of it. Once you are able to identify their problem, give them the solutions, let them know how you can help them with this, then they are free to be able to focus on business development, moving forward, maybe not working as many hours, getting back some of their personal time, taking a vacation for the first time in 3 years. So think about that. And these are the 4 things that you want to do to talk about things from their perspective instead of from yours. And some of the things that might be, and this is from conversations that I've had with my clients about what their clients highly value when working with them. So I've taken this right out of conversations that I've had. And office expansion sooner than planned. That, the sooner that they can do that, that's like compounding interest for them. The sooner they can expand their office, the more money they have potential to earn, increased revenues, and that's going to make a difference professionally as well as probably personally. Covering their bills on time, no longer having late fees, or maybe having overdue notices coming to them, reducing their taxes or being tax compliant, no longer getting those notices that they are overdue on their tax bills, and now they have to deal with the penalties also. Peace of mind about their financials. They actually know accurate financials so they can make some strategic decisions in their business instead of just winging it. Eliminating the money leaks. How often do you find that there's redundancies or that there are subscriptions that they're paying for, but they haven't used in at least 8 months, and being able to help them plug up some of those money leaks? Okay, financial shame. If somebody has never set up their books, or if they know their books are a mess, they have financial shame. And you can go ahead and help them remove that. And that gives them confidence in how they're showing up in their business. And when they no longer have that financial shame or guilt, then they're actually showing up with more confidence, and they will serve at a higher level as well. And then the last thing is lightening their workload, because there's probably things that they're doing regarding their financials after hours, on the weekends, instead of servicing a client within their own business. And by lightening their workload, taking this off of them, maybe they'll be able to go home at a decent hour, spend more time with their family, or not have to feel that as soon as they get a message from one of their clients on Friday at 8 o'clock at night, they have to run away and respond to that immediately, no matter what they're doing. So those are some of the things that your clients might value also. And if there's anything else that you know your clients value, please go ahead and put that in the chat. Would love to see what are some of the things that your clients highly value when they're first coming to you as well. When I first connected with Rihanna, she loves to please people and say yes. She said yes to everybody who is willing to go ahead and pay her monthly fees. She was doing some of the cleanup work as part of her monthly service, rolling it in, because she didn't want to upset someone or have someone turn away and potentially lose that business. Because of that, she was undervaluing her own services. She was absolutely working in the evenings after the kids went to bed. And as a result of that, it was affecting her business growth as well. She was burnt out. Part of what we did is we put a process in place. It's a system to actually screen clients before they actually reach out to her, for her to be able to tell whether someone was going to be a good fit for her or not. So she wouldn't have to actually say no to someone if they weren't qualified. So we put in a system to pre-qualify clients before they actually even reached out to her. So that the price sensitive ones actually never followed through any longer, which was better for her and her company. The other thing that we did was help her really clearly define what the value was from her client's point of view, how to be able to have that initial consultation focus on what her clients value instead of just talking about reviewing their taxes, taking a look at their books, and understanding how many bank accounts, transactions each month, and credit cards they were having. So she focused on things that were of value to her clients instead of just the functional parts of her business. As a result of that, what we did is we actually came up and created packages for her. As you can see, these are silver, gold, and platinum packages. This way, clients were able to decide with her what would be a best fit for them when working with her. The silver was for clients that had simpler business needs, or they were a little bit more price sensitive. The gold is where most of her clients actually end up going, because this is where her average client needed to be, and it would give them the information that they needed. And then the platinum was for clients that wanted the extra touch, wanted a faster response, wanted more contact from her and insights. And so once again, this is hers. So I want to acknowledge that this is proprietary to Rihanna, and you can use it for inspiration, but please don't copy it. Use it for inspiration so that you can go ahead and maybe create packages for yourself. But once again, create your own packages instead of just copying hers. But this is definitely one of the things that she did. And by doing this now, she was running her business instead of her business running her. It let her create more systems and processes in order to be more efficient. And as a result of that, she no longer had to put her kids to bed and run back to her client to do additional work. Because she's now more systematized, she was actually able to hire staff to do a lot of the functions that she was originally doing. And this allowed her to focus on the higher level CFO services as well as business development.
Well, Loren, now we're going to move forward and we're going to move on to grabbing attention. However, before we do that, we're going to go to our next poll. Which best describes your firm?
Yep, I'm going to get that up right now.
Generalized services, we specialize and we solve a specific problem. We've defined a niche, we have a niche, and we have a specialty. And do you have a question coming out from the chat? I'm not really clear about my client's value. How can I figure that out?
But basically what you want to do is have conversations that focus on what they care about. So you want to ask them, what is it that you want to achieve over the next 12 months? What is it that is going on in your business right now that's been holding you back? What's been a frustration for you? How can we measure success? What are some of those KPIs, key performance indicators? If we are able to do that, what would you be able to do that you're not able to do now? So off the top of my head, those are some of the questions that I think that you ought to focus on, is looking at what they want to achieve in the next 12 months, what's going on right now, how you would measure success with them, and what would be possible for them once they achieve that result.
Great. So which best describes your firm? Generalized services is 50%. We specialize and solve a specific problem is 13%. We've defined a niche is 31%. And we have a niche and a specialty is 6%. So thank you for that. And Loren, before we get into the final section where you're going to discuss attracting those high value clients, I know that we have a free resource, and could you post that for us?
It's actually in the chat. If you want to know the 5 steps that I'm going through in this section and be able to have that as a handout reference, I went ahead and put the link in the chat. It's businesssuccesssolution.com/attraction. And that will give you the cheat sheet for this next section.
We're now ready to discuss attracting high value clients. How does confidence fit into this equation?
Basically, what marketing is about conveying confidence. Your clients need to believe that you have the confidence to be able to deliver on what they're hiring you for and then some, and that you have the insights and the education to be able to do that. The more that you can convey confidence in your marketing, whether it is through presentations at a network meeting, what you have on your website, what it is that you're putting on social media posts or any other way that you do marketing, the more that you can convey confidence, the more it is client attractive. People invest in confidence. And Steve, I'm going to go ahead and take it from here, just out of respect to time.
Sure.
These are the steps that you want to think about. The very first one is you want to be client-centered. It goes back to the golden rule of you have to give before you can expect to get. You want to focus on them and what is top of mind for them, and letting them know that you really care about the relationship. It is not just transactional. And that is something you can do before you ever even onboard a client, is be able to share about how you work with clients in some of your marketing. The next thing you want to do is have clarity. You want to have clarity about that transformation. The transformation is the sweet spot. That is about what would 2.0 of your client's business look like if they no longer had the headaches, the frustrations, they had accurate financials, and they could be able to put more attention in working on their business because they knew that you're on their team, taking care of their financials, they're accurate, they're up to date, and they have those insights. So the more that you can connect what it is that you do to that transformation, that milestone, that next level aspect of their business, their aspirations, that has very, very high value, especially if you can show them that you can do it faster, easier, and I forgot, faster, easier, and I'm not sure what that third one was, but I'm sure that somebody better, faster, easier, and better. Okay, we talked about credibility and showing them that you have the expertise to do this. Based on HubSpot in 2019, they did a survey of how people were getting information out there, giving away the insights, some of the solutions, talk about problems and connecting it to solutions. These are some of the ways that people get information out there. And maybe you do some of these, or maybe this might inspire you to do something as well. As you can see, videos are at the top, but not everybody wants to be doing a video. That is maybe a next level move if you've never done anything before. But you could be maybe doing some type of checklist or have a marketing person put together an infographic for you. And there's ways to be able to get out information from how you see it, and that shows you as the expert in order for people to really want more from you. Consistency is about the fact that marketing is a marathon. You do a little bit and it's like compounding interest. It continues to grow over time. As a result of that, people know who you are, what you do, and how you help. This is the fact that when you are busy, you don't want to take your foot off the gas with marketing, getting out there in some way. You want to consistently be out there, because too often I see accounting professionals, they're doing a lot of marketing when they need clients. And then when they have enough clients, they stop doing the marketing. And then eventually they need clients again, and it becomes ebbs and flows. But if you're out there consistently, then you have a steady flow of clients or potential clients in the funnel. And that way you're able to reduce the ebbs and flows. And then the last one is challenge. This is also an advanced level move. This is where I want you to be that purple cow. Instead of talking about all the things that everybody else is talking about, I want you to think about what is your rant. What is it that is a popular belief out there that the general public believes is true about financials, bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, and you know that is not information that is in their best interest? Now, I posted this on Facebook about 2 days ago to see what other accounting professionals who are connected with me see as their rant. Some of them felt that their rant was any business owner that had QuickBooks thought that they could do bookkeeping. Anybody that was able to be able to access and figure out the software felt that they didn't need to do it themselves. It's similar to anybody with a smartphone that has a camera on it, thinks that they can do high quality photography and don't need professional photographer for their wedding or life event. So that's something. Another rant was that payroll software is not the same as a payroll company. So those are some of the things to think about for you. What is your rant that you know is out there, is popular, but it's not necessarily in your client's best interest? And if you can go ahead and get a megaphone and scream about this, that you would do that. And that is something I want you to start to talk about. That will be your purple cow. Now, will it go away? Go ahead and turn off some people. It will. But you know what? Those people probably aren't your potential high value clients anyway. I don't want you to appeal to everybody. I want you to appeal to the select few that you know are great clients for you and you can deeply serve. Then you don't need the quantity, you have the quality. And it allows you to then prioritize the customer relationship instead of having it be transactional. So think about what your rant is and how to be able to start talking about it, messaging it. Like I said, my rant is about pricing your services. I want you to be very well paid for the difference that you make for your clients, because to me, accounting professionals are unsung heroes, and you give so much away. You are so generous. And this was especially true during COVID. It was proof of how generous you are for your clients. And you deserve to be well paid for that difference that you made for them. And that is why I feel hourly pricing is a disservice to you as well as your clients. It puts you at opposite ends of the spectrum, creates that tug of war. Okay, that's my rant. I had it. I am moving on. So think about what your rant is with your clients and your particular ideal clients. And when I first connected with Lane, she has a particular niche that she works with, which is people in the entertainment industry. But she was actually not highlighting that. When she was going out there networking in her messaging, she was talking more about the functions and the tasks as opposed to who it is that she loves to serve. She understands them. She connects with them. She is part of the entertainment industry herself. She has that experience. And by being able to shift her message from that generalist and focusing on the technical parts of what she does to who it is she serves, knowing what it is that they're dealing with on a regular basis and how she can help them. She was a little hesitant to do that at first because she wanted to appeal to a wide range of people. And she knew that there were people outside of her industry that she could help. And what if she started being specific and that person that she could help too didn't realize it and didn't reach out to her? So we talked about that and the skepticism that came up and why it was better for her to actually be more focused than more generalized. And it took some courage to do this. She didn't have the confidence at first, even though she loved serving this industry, but she had the courage and she was open-minded doing something differently. She did it. She started testing it out. She started getting the results. And because of that, she started having more people in the entertainment industry reach out to her and want to be able to work with her. And she found that they weren't as price sensitive. They loved the fact that she knew the specifics of their industry and that she can help them with the specific things that they were really dealing with and giving them those insights in order to help them grow. So that's something to think about for you also, is by being more specific, it actually is very, very client attractive. Oh, and the other thing that happened, so I said skeptical to debt-free. During the first, I would say 8 months that we worked together, she became debt-free because she made this move in her messaging and connected with her value. What happened is she paid down her credit card, she paid off her car loan, and she actually went from a home renter to a home buyer. She bought her first home in the LA area. And Los Angeles is not the cheapest place to buy a house. So once again, she became debt-free in a matter of about 8 months or so of her making the shift, connecting with her value, and being able to now communicate her value to attract those high-value clients to her. And just think about what something like that would do for your practice as well.
Well, what we covered today was fixing your message, attracting ideal clients, and how to grab attention. And Loren, you really shared quite a bit. And now I know that they can really get started, but I think that there are some out there that are ready to get this done and they don't want to have to figure this out on their own. What do you recommend for our listeners who are ready to attract high value clients?
Well, if you feel that this has resonated for you, there's things that you've been tolerating as far as low value clients, clients who treat you like employees, that you are delivering maybe $1,000 worth of services a month, but you're only charging $300. Your fees do not represent your value and you want to be able to fix this, then I put aside 4 complimentary Path to Profit strategy sessions. They have a $500 value, but I love talking with people that are looking to really take action and make that difference in their business to be able to then serve their clients at a higher value as well. Once again, I have 4 slots available. If you're interested in looking at how this could be done in your practice, go to businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. And I also put that in the chat as well. Once again, it's businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. I'd love to be able to have a dedicated conversation to be able to show you how to put this into practice and be able to double your income, working half the time, where you're working with high value clients who really respect you, appreciate, and follow through because they recognize the difference that you're making for them. Anyway, want to just say thank you so much for joining me, taking that time away from working in your business to working on your business. It is an advanced level move, and I look forward to talking with you further. Take care.